Hello guys, it's Kid KR here. I just want to bring you guys the first Yu-Gi-Oh deck profile of the channel. I'm starting Yugi-tubing. I hate that term, it's absolutely ridiculous, but here we go. It is a fairly expensive deck. It is Spyrals and it has a lot of tech cards to kind of make the deck, or not tech cards, archetypes to make the deck go and make it do things. I think it is one of the most fun decks I've ever made. I used to play Spyrals when they were really competitive, and now that they are kind of set off into the depths of Yu-Gi-Oh! Hell, and they will never be coming back. It's just fun, and it does a lot of things, and you can toss it into any tournament, and it will actually compete against any real deck, because it can work around hand traps. You still have ways to keep going into the game. And then we're just gonna hop into the profile. There will be a combo video. It will not be at the end of this video. It will be on a separate video. We'll be working on that a little bit later, but here we're gonna just bring out that profile. So now it's going to be 3 Spyral Super Agents. He's kind of the best card in the deck. He's really simple. Call out Monster Spell Trap. Look at the top of your opponent's deck. And if you call it correctly, summon himself. If he is summoned by the effect of a Spyral card, you can pop a spell trap card your opponent controls. So it's cool, it's solid. He can take out spell traps, he can force out hand traps. He's just legit. And then 2 of his predecessor, which is Spyral Tough. He's real simple. When he's on the board, or he has to be on the board, it's a once per turn effect. Call Monster Spell Trap. If you call it correctly, you can pop any card you want. While he is on the field, he is considered a Spyral Super Agent. While he's in the graveyard, he's also considered a Super Agent. So you can just use him, send him to the graveyard, summon him back, and then use his effect again, because it's not a hard once per turn effect. So he's relatively solid. And then the simple Spyral lineup, 1 drone because you have no choice, 1 quick fix because again you have no choice, and then 1 sleeper and 1 last resort. He's the main boss. Little story onto that. He used to be the trainer for Super Agent, and then he went rogue, and now he's off being evil, which is kind of cool. And then there is Spyral Master Plan. The reason why you run 1 of her is because you never want to draw her, you never want to see her. She's just in the deck because she's kind of the best Spyral. But she happens to be level 7, so she's incredibly hard to summon. And then now we get to go to the fun part, which is the cheapest part of all of the Spyral deck. 3 Mothman. He is actually the best danger in the deck, surprisingly enough. I know it sounds like I'm joking and like I'm just trying to play it off. This is deadass the best danger in the deck. He is also the cheapest, and he is the cheapest card in the deck. And then going into the actual dangers, 2 Tsuchinokos, haha, expensive, haha, haha. So 2 Tsuchinokos, and then triple Nessie, because Nessie is level 7, and that matters a lot. And then she searches, so she's one of the better ones. Jackalope, he summons 1 for free, he meets requirements, he helps out a lot. And then that's enough for all of the dangers into the deck. And then you also run the Orcas lineup. So in this specific deck, since it's mostly a combo-based deck and you don't want to extend your plays, it's a very small engine. It's just 2 Orcas Nightmares because you never want to see it in your hand. See it in your hand and it's really bad. So 2 kind of makes up for it. You run 2. 1 Harp Horror. He summons from your deck by banishing. And 1 Skeleton, he summons from your graveyard by banishing. And then 1 World Wand. World Wand, by banishing it, you can target a Orcas in your banish and then summon it to your side of the field. So he's there because he makes it so you can go into Azathoth, or you can extend your combos into ways that you wouldn't really expect. The deck profile that I'm going to show you is a completely unique combo. It took me weeks, better said months, for me to kind of make all this. I've never seen it anywhere, and I'm pretty sure no one's ever done it. So this will probably be the first time I'll ever see it. The Orcas are good and bad. They lock you into only dark monsters. So you want to do this at the very end. And then, unless you're forced to and you have no choice, which is not the worst thing in the world. And then 1 boots. You only need 1 boot. You don't need to walk around. If you ever need to walk around, you just hop on 1 foot and it all works out. 3 of the missions. Spyral, if I could find her, master plan. You summon her so often, you can actually get all 4 of these into your hand. So it's great. It's amazing. In this deck, the fact that you can summon her so often, you can discard and extend your plays in ways that you can, in most cases, get into that final board that you really want just from using more cards. So it is the combo that I will be showing. It is a 2-card combo, but if you ever draw bad or draw awkward, you can still get into it using a 2, 3, 4, or 5 cards. And then 1, 2, 3 Foolish Burial Goods. I think this card is terrible. I think it's one of the worst cards in the game, and I want nothing to do with it, but I have no choice because it's the only way to make this combo work. So you either need to draw into this, or you need to find a way to discard or send something to the graveyard, but we'll see the combo later. And then only 1 big red because it's searchable, and you only want it for the combo. And it's also hard once per turn. So it's a Monster Reborn only for Spyral monsters. It's relatively simple. It's searchable from Quick Fix. It's not that big of a problem. You can't really search it any other way, and you can't abuse it any other way. And the meta is not slow enough for you to run more than 1 because you need to win first turn or second turn, just because Yu-Gi-Oh is Yu-Gi-Oh right now. And then 1 for 1. 1 for 1 by itself and any other monster is the combo, or Foolish Burial, or etc. You'll see the combo later. And then 1 Spyral Resort. You run 1 because you have no choice. This card is single-handedly the best card in the game, and the combo is a little bit weird, but Nightmare Phoenix makes the combo a little bit better. So you'll see it a little bit later. And then 1, 2, 3, and these are just the Phantom Knights combos. It's really simple. With the Orcas, just make it so you can go into Mardis or go into Mardis. I was correct. Alright, good. Cool. So you can go into Mardis and he searches you the rank of magic, which is what you need to get into that final combo point. And then now I'm just going to give you guys the side deck, which is really straight up. And I know it seems like you don't have space to put it anywhere, but when you're going second, you're so scared of losing the game, no matter what, that you just take out every single danger except Mothman, and then certain little details, and then it just kind of helps out for everything you need. And then there is Triple Ash, because again, it's the best card in the game. The reason why I went into so many dangers instead of going into any amount of traps in the main deck is because this deck wants to win so hard first turn that you just rely so much on that dice roll. You can't win that dice roll, you have the side deck to kind of make up for it. So 3 Ash Blossoms, it's the best hand trap in the game. I've had it since release and I don't regret picking them up. And there's 3 Ghosts, because if you're ever playing against Pendulums, you don't really want Ash Blossom. If you have Ash Blossoms against Pendulums, you just feel really bad about yourself. Then 1, 2, 3 Effect Bailer. Effect Bailer recently made it back into the meta, and I'm kind of happy about that because I think Effect Bailer is one of the most fun hand traps in the game. Pankratops, 3 Pankratops. It is one of the underrated hand traps, side deck cards, you could say. It is very versatile. You just kind of summon it, and then right after summoning it, you attack, you butt or you break something, you pop it, you break something else. So your combo is so important that going second, you want to have Pankratops just because you can mess up a combo beforehand and then go into your main phase 2. This deck can go into a very control variant, and at the same time, it can just win immediately. So it can OTK, it can FTK, it can OTK, and it can control your opponent. You don't want to get to control, you just want to end the game. So you'll see during the combo video. Then there is 1, 2, 3 evenly matched. So your board is so nuts that it doesn't matter if you go second and you go into evenly matched. That's great. You just wipe their board whatever way you can. If you can, if they have a negate on board, which every deck right now does, you can go into evenly matched just to bring out a negate. So you go into evenly matched, you end battle phase, and then you summon Prankertops, and then odds are that's enough to break the board, so then you can actually play Yu-Gi-Oh! So that's one of the better options. Apart from that, the combo video will be coming up. It is a very long combo, and it can be resumed relatively simple, but it does take a little while for the whole combo to go through. And then now we're coming into the extra deck. The extra deck is where it gets really spicy. So, 1, double helix. I would love to be able to run 3, but the meta just doesn't let you, and this deck isn't good enough, so you have no choice. You call a monster spell trap. If it's correct, you can summon a Spyral card from your graveyard or your deck. This is the way that you summon Master Plan. Master Plan, you can summon her, abuse her, keep summoning her, and then you go into infinite loops. So it's great. And then we go into the Nightmares. So Nightmare Mermaid, because she summons your Nightmare Orcas card. Nightmare Phoenix, because you actually need her to summon Sorceress. I know it sounds really weird, but this is the way I laid it out. And then Nightmare Unicorn, if you ever draw it to the field spell, you can discard a card, summon her, or summon that Unicorn, and then Unicorn makes it so you search the field spell back again because of the effect of Master Plan, which is absolutely great. And then more than one way to go into Mermaid is always nice. And then this is the XYZ lineup. So we do have Orcas, so if we ever have a bad hand or we can't play Spirals, we can just go into Time Thief and then go into Azathoth, and that's just a 2-card combo, 2 dangers, or 1 danger and 1 monster, and then discard a card that gets you into Azathoth, which there's a lot of decks right now that can't get over that. If you're ever playing against Thunder Dragons or any deck fully monster reliant, you just kind of end the game and it's over. There are a lot of decks now that can go over it, but it's not the worst thing in the world. And this is what makes the deck do all sorts of things. So 2 level 7s, you make him. Whenever he is sent to the graveyard, you can summon a Odd Eyes card from your extra deck. You go into Odd Eyes Raging, and then you use the rank up magic to go into DGD. This card is absolutely nuts. When he is summoned, your opponent cannot activate and everything is negated. It's absolutely not. If anyone thinks Azathoth is good and they see DDD, it's just incredible. Plus, just to make it worse, he's a heavy Storm Duster. So once per turn during either player's turn, pop everything on the field and just make your opponent feel really bad. So if you're playing versus Altergeist and you summon DDD, it's completely over. They can't set any cards, they can't activate any monster effects, they just auto lose. Going into the other links, 1 Proxy Dragon, because I know this is somewhat of an underrated combo, but if you ever have your Proxy Dragon and your Last Resort and Proxy right next to your Spyral Sleeper, your board is 100% unbreakable. So it's indestructible. So he can't be targeted because of the effect of Last Resort, then he can't be destroyed either. So Proxy, every time something on your side of the field goes to be popped, it'll just pop Sleeper, and then Sleeper can't be popped. So it just goes over and over and over. And there are some contradictions with like Raigeki because it pops everything on your board, but Sleeper can't be popped, so it doesn't matter. It's one of these like little things that you don't really think about, but it gets everyone like messed up if they don't understand what it can and can't do. And then Mardis, because you need it to search up the rank up magic. I'm pretty sure this card's gonna get banned. It's either this card of the rank up magic or Azathoth. I'm voting for Azathoth, but we will see whenever Konami decides to pick something. Then there is Nightmare Griffin. Nightmare Griffin is just there because it discards another one of your cards. So if you ever get one of the bad areas, like bad hands, like you can do a thing, but you can stop by a hand trap, you summon her, You discard one of your mission trap cards and you summon one from your graveyard. You set one for free. It negates monster effects. It's great. It's just a nice card. I got this card on release. It was one of these like hidden cards, and it randomly comes out and wins you games, which is really fun. Then there is the one Galatea. She's getting an ultimate rare printing, so that's kind of cool. She's probably the best Orcas in the extra deck. And there is one Link Freebo. You only have Link Freebo because of you can go into Quick Fix. Quick Fix searches you Big Red, and then Big Red summons you Quick Fix again. And then that way you can go into your Nightmare and summon whatever you need to summon. And then one of the card that may or may not be hidden in the ban list, Summon Sorceress. She is pretty simple, pretty great. Summons a card for free, extends your plays, and extending your plays is always great. This deck is just a variation of how to extend a play in every way that you can. So that's currently the deck profile. It is a lot of thinking, so if you ever play it 100 times and then you bring it into an event, you will have a whole lot of fun, even if you get stopped by hand traps. The only way you lose is if you go second and they have 3 negates, in which case, you know, go to the next game, put your hand traps, and pray to God. So apart from that, that is the deck profile. That is the first deck profile. If anyone has any more questions, they can comment something in the comment section. I'll make sure to answer. And then my astounding cameraman, King Life Train, has been sitting there ever so patiently and quiet. So this silent man husk is gonna go ahead and hit the red end button, and I'll see you guys next time.